Hey everybody, so this is your Silent Flute video blog of the day, and it is February 14th, 2017, Valentine's Day. I'm recording this and it's Valentine's Day here in India, so actually it's past midnight in the USA, so in the USA it's also Valentine's Day, which is a relatively meaningless holiday, as all holidays are, but it is coincidental, or let's say fortuitous, that we're arriving at the heart chakra today. This is Anahata, which means unstruck, the purity of unconditional appreciation and love towards yourself and others, which the theme of the heart chakra is your social identity. So you have like the root chakra, which is a kind of self-identity. You have the Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra, which is like an emotional identity, and so on. You have the Manipura chakra, which is like an ego identity, different from the self. The self would be like a physical identity, and the ego identity of the third chakra. And now we're at the fourth chakra, which is the social identity. So it has to do with relationships and how you connect with yourself and others. And in alchemy, one of the Hermetic principles is as within, so without. Kind of everything is a mental, it's a mental universe. And so you see that a lot in dealing with the heart chakra, because the relationships that you're attracting to you have to do with your relationship to yourself. Who you are is attracting the circumstances around you, and the matter around you, and people are matter also. So it's kind of represented by these two triangles that, you know, one faces down and one faces up. It's like the Star of David, and this is kind of, it's the central point in this meridian. You know, there are different chakra systems, and some have 9 central chakras, some have 8, some have 11, and the one that's really popular is the 7 chakra system. And in the 7 chakra system, the heart chakra is in the center. There's 3 spiritual above, and there's 3 material below. And so we're at this turning point where they come together as the heart, and this is kind of representing a union, a yoga, if you will. So a lot of yoga philosophies will talk about that the heart is the one that really matters. And you know, there's, like in all of the chakras, there's, what we're doing is I'm making you aware, or I'm helping you to become aware of this quality. There's all of the qualities of the chakras, of your mind, of, you think of any invention like this cell phone. You know, people, we like to think that we invented this, and it's convenient to use those words that, you know, humans invented this, but technically the knowledge that is used in that technology was already available in the universe. We didn't invent it, we just realized it. We acknowledged it, recognized it, and manifested the results of it. And so in the same way, when we talk about like love or forgiveness or grief or any things that are related to the heart chakra or qualities of the mind, we're just becoming aware of them. They already existed. And so deficiency or excess in the heart chakra, what I first want you to notice is the color green. Just start to notice the color green. Think about green, and as I continue to repeat green, the word green, you might actually like be able to look around the room and green, you'll notice something green. And so just by bringing your awareness to the word green and the association you have with the word green, you'll actually start to notice green. So as I talk to you about love or forgiveness or interrelationships or balance in your connection to the people around you, as far as exchange, that's another Hermetic principle, is the law of exchange. You never get something for nothing. But a lot of times, if you don't consciously give, what ends up being the exchange is it's unconscious, it's unwilling. You know, nature abhors the void, so I give something, I'm going to get something in return, and if they don't consciously give it, I'm just going to get whatever nature fills that vacuum with, that void with, which is not always. In fact, most of the time, nature is harsh, so it's undesirable. So be conscious in your exchange. That's heart chakra, and it's alchemy. And there's a lot of stories of this example, and I've said it before, and a lot of people disagree with this, but I'm very firm in this belief because it's I've tested it time and time again. And here's the story. Basically, if you ever give something to someone and they don't accept your gift, like a genuine gift, not like that old Buddha story, if I give anger and they don't take it. I mean like a gift, like I give my service, I give my time, I actually have a physical gift, and they don't accept it. And then I get hurt by that. I feel hurt by that. It wasn't a gift for them, it was a gift for me. Even though I was giving them the gift, the act of giving them and the feelings that I would feel from giving it to them was for myself. And so the rejection of the gift I took as like a personal insult. And so that's not a genuine gift. That's a codependency. You're relying on the other person for that feeling of value. And that would be an excessive heart chakra. One that gives, but it's to give for a compensation of something that's missing inside. On the opposite side of the pendulum, the opposite polarity, everything goes back to alchemy. It's wonderful. Polarity is another law of alchemy. There's 7. And on the opposite polarity is deficiency, which is aversion. It's that classic dynamic between, one partner's chasing the other's constantly running away or is unavailable. But it doesn't have to be like in sexual relationships. It could be like for job, or it could be like in a friendship or with your parents. I know I used to be kind of aversive to my parents. Probably I was smothered as a child a little bit. My parents are super loving, and relative to the parents of the world, they're excellent. And we all can look back and be like, well, I wish my parents had been like this or that. And ultimately, you're supposed to outdo your parents in terms of everything. Your spirituality, your ability to be a parent, your intelligence, your income. Like, you're supposed to improve upon what your parents and your teachers gave you. Otherwise, the family or the art form or whatever you're learning is dying. If you're not a level up, if you're not an upgrade relative to your teachers and your parents, then you're a level down. There's no equal. It's like balancing, a needle on its point. Like, yeah, it's possible, but it's going to fall one way or the other. So it's like trying to balance magnets that are repelling. It's going to go one way or the other. So you're either an upgrade or a downgrade, and we're supposed to be an upgrade. So we're supposed to be able to look back and be like, parents, I wish they had done this or that, and whatever. So that's deficiency. This comes to the healing aspect. Because, again, this is all in the context of auras, which is, this is for the group The Silent Flute on Facebook, which a majority of the members expressed interest in learning how to read auras. And it's relatively easy. I already taught you to gaze, but you need to be able to read yourself. And it's best to be able to do it without projecting onto another person, unless you're just doing it as a gimmick, in which case you just read a book and you learn how to do that. Just use some keywords. You have a very loving disposition, and your posture suggests that you're highly spiritual. Like, if it's bullshit, they'll usually be able to tell, unless you're a good liar, in which case I don't give a shit because I don't lie. So I'm bringing your awareness to the color green, the center of the heart. This Star of David, these two I don't know how to do it with my hands. These two interpenetrating triangles with 12 petals around it, 12 lotus flowers. So in a minute, when I give you a meditation to do on it, what I want to keep this video as short as possible. I know it's already going long. So I want to go right into some therapy of it. Basically, I could spend probably a month on the heart chakra. Definitely at least a week of every day, some rigorous videos to give you exercises that would connect you to your heart and blossom it in the direction that you want it to go. But I'm not doing that right now. This is one video on the heart chakra, and what you need to recognize is that connection that with yourself and with others has a lot to do with feeling. And even though emotional literacy is a function of the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, Anahata is emotion and feeling is the vehicle over which we feel connection. And that, as I quoted Arashti Bazar earlier today, that feeling of connectedness to another person is what causes happiness. That is what causes happiness. You can watch his video. He cites a study on that, the longest study of human behavior in history, and active study. And connectedness is carried by emotion, by feeling, which are technically two separate things, but for now let's call emotion and feeling the same thing. And when there's a deficiency there, so first you got to recognize that a deficiency or an excess of heart chakra both result in a non-acceptance of love. The excessive heart chakra gives it, but won't accept it, and it's codependency. The deficient, I don't know if I said deficient, that was excessive. The deficient heart chakra doesn't know how to give it and is closed off to receiving it. That's the aversive person. And so both don't receive affection, appreciation, love. And that confining of emotional exchange results in a confining of the breath. Because anytime we are inhibiting an emotion, we're inhibiting the breath. We're inhibiting body movement. And obviously some kind of body movement, dance, yoga, tai chi, or even just regular exercise will help with that. But a lot of times that might just more deeply ingrain the emotional illiteracy that we might be having. And so to increase our emotional literacy, simply sitting and breathing, which is a pranayama technique. I've already given you several. I'm going to give you one more quick and easy one today. And another function of opening up to be able to receive love is working through things like blame. We're blaming our problems or our past problems on other people, grieving the loss of something that we attached a personal identity to. Because grief is just, you lose somebody, but you had a vested interest in them. You're projecting your own identity onto them, or that, whatever, the object. And that's what grief is. So you can look up any kind of grief work, blame work, forgiveness work. What we're going to work on is acceptance. So you have blame, grief, forgiveness, and acceptance. We're going to do a little journaling exercise on acceptance. And so I'll briefly go over it. I'm not going to walk you through it because my own process of doing it would take 30 minutes. And so I invite you to set aside 20-30 minutes to actually do this. If you do it well, you only need to do it once. And if you don't do it well, you can do it 100 times and it won't do shit. And then we'll close it out. I'll show you a little mudra and give you some affirmations to be able to really feel your heart chakra. And a lot of this is also geared towards emotional independence. That doesn't mean not having emotions, but to be able to be the observer of your emotions and choose to be an effect of them or not. It's okay to be an effect of your emotions if you are conscious of it. It's wonderful to be an effect of emotions are energy in motion. To ride the wave like a surfer of your emotions, that's phenomenal. When the wave crashes you into the rocks, then fuck that. I don't want to ride that emotion. So be conscious of it, and so that's what the mudra will help you with. Okay, so here I'm going to sit up. This is already a super long video. All right, I aim to finish this in 4 minutes. Okay, so I'll show you the pranayama, and then I'll give you the journaling exercise, and then I'll show you the mudra. So it's going to be in rapid succession, and you pause, practice at your own leisure. So right now my feet are flat on the floor, my hands are on my knees, spine is straight. This is going to be a rapid breath through the nose called Bhastrika. It's going to be rapid exhales, forced exhales using the stomach muscles. I'm not able to sit far enough away from the camera, but it's going to be, so I'm pushing in the belly to push out the breath. If your nose is congested, you can breathe out the mouth, but I would recommend breathe out the nose. This is going to energize your system, and it's going to actually calm your mind. It'll energize your mind, but it's going to kind of still it, and which will make it easier to do the journaling exercise. So actually, I'm going to explain the journaling exercise, but I'm going to demonstrate one or two facets, like with my own mind. I'll just talk it out loud to give you examples, and then the mudra. So the journaling exercise is basically it's an invitation to start to dissect parts of your personality. Remember, this is all about connectedness, and as within, so without. You get the relationships that you have with yourself, so we need to solidify the relationship with yourself. If you ever played that bridge building game in grade school or whatever, the more connection, even if it wasn't the most efficient thing, but the more connections you had, the sturdier the bridge was. The more connections you have to the different aspects of your own being, the sturdier as a person you are. You're formidable, you're strong, you fill yourself with self-esteem, and you rely on nothing outside of you to feed you with self-esteem. That's proper, balanced heart chakra. And the same with your relationships with other people. The more you have and the stronger those connections, the more formidable your tribe, which is, IMC Nation. Ninth Limb Silent Flute. We're a tribe. Okay, so the journaling exercise is to kind of break apart your personality into different archetypes. Like some I would choose would be like the inner child, the adolescent, the athlete, the hunter. You know, the yogi, the adult, the academic. These are just things from my life. The lover, the player, the son, the cousin. Just different roles. It's infinite, basically. The bearded man, the social media genius, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You just dissect your personality into different archetypes. And then you start to talk about, there's two questions. Question one is, I almost flipped you off. Question one would be, what are the wants of that person? And again, I'll demonstrate this after I do Bhastrika breath. What are the wants of that person? And question two is, what is their relationship to some of the other archetypes? Now, it can be kind of chaotic if you have 20, and that's 20 factorial relationships, which is a mathematics term, so it's a lot. You don't have to do them all, but like my inner athlete would probably relate to my inner child in some way. And the hunter in me would probably relate to the yogi in me, because I'm a vegan now. And I used to hunt. Okay, so I'll demonstrate the Bhastrika breath and then give you an example and then give you the mudra. So it's forced exhalations through the nose. This is also very healing for third chakra. A couple of you have messaged me about healing third chakra, which is your will. And having your feet flat on the ground is healing for first chakra. So we're starting to integrate a lot of this. Second chakra is emotional literacy. So we're building. And this is also, you can see auras. Red, orange, yellow, green. You're able to interpret people's behavior as you open your third eye. We'll get there. And then see the colors that are within and surrounding, enveloping people. You'll see multiple colors. You'll see layers. You got to be sensitive to it. And you got to not project, man, because that's a recipe for false beliefs, and that's illusory. That's suffering. False beliefs are suffering. Let's get to the real shit. I invite you to be patient with me. In 2 months, I'm going to accelerate all of your evolution to the level that's taken me 6 years of serious effort to get to. So, I really appreciate any comments, sharing, posting about Silent Flute. Get more people on board so more people can raise an awareness with all of us. Okay. After many exhalations, forced exhalations, I push all the air out with a final exhalation and then a deep inhale and then a retention. And if you remember the bandha work from last 2 weeks ago, you can hold your bandhas too. Jalandhara bandha, Mula bandha, Uddiyana bandha. If you don't know what bandhas are, you're just joining us, then go back and watch that long pranayama video. It's 30 minutes. And for now, don't worry about the bandhas. Just hold it in your chest. Feel the expansion as you hold it. Okay, and then I'm going to go right into the journaling exercise. I won't explain it again. I would do one of those as I journal. So I'll think about a hunter. I used to be a hunter. It's also my adolescent state, and which is teenager. Some of the wants I had at the time as a hunter, I wanted to make my dad proud, and I wanted to get the game, the big game, the buck, a deer with lots of antlers, and I wanted a clean shot, and I wanted that thrill of the recoil of the rifle on my shoulder, and I wanted to go home and eat my game, And now the yogi in me, I want a kind of peace and acceptance, and not a weakness, but definitely a formidable solitude and interconnection, strong interconnection with the people I choose to be around and be around me, and a sense of growth always. And the interrelationship between these two parts of me, the hunter, the inner hunter, and the inner yogi. It's funny, the hunter is kind of judgmental, of the yogi. Like, why would anybody do that? I mean, there's some things that are interesting that he does with his body, but it's like, I have no concept of that. It seems odd. He doesn't eat meat. That's weird. I mean, he can't be healthy. And the yogi would look at the hunter and say, wow, that's a kind of ignorance, and I understand it's your upbringing with your dad and your family, your heritage, tradition. That's what you all did. At least you're killing wild game, and you're aiming for a clean shot, and there's not any real animal cruelty. I mean, it's kind of dog-eat-dog world of the animal world anyway. A predator would come and kill a deer, and it would be even more painful. So, I just invite you to follow your path, and I accept you as you are, but I don't do that sort of thing. So I could do the same thing with like the inner athlete and the wounded child or the young child. I could do as a son and an academic. I could use the hunter again and be like a hunter and a son. Any of those connections. You can write them down. You can speak them, think them. However, I record a lot that I don't post actually because I like the biofeedback of watching myself talk. It's a bit narcissistic, but that's my excessive heart chakra. And okay, so final thing. It's a super long video, so I might not make a video tomorrow because I aimed for these to be 7 fucking minutes. It's 21 minutes, and I got to go to class. So you cup the hands. Right hand underneath, left hand on top, right over the center of your chest. As you hold this, and just observe your breath, don't change anything, soften your tongue. Sit as you did in pranayama, spine straight, feet flat, unless you know how to sit cross-legged comfortably. And a couple of the affirmations you would use would be, think to yourself, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of love. Alternatively, you could say, I live in complete balance with others. I live in balance with my community. I live in balance. You can hold this mudra for however long, 5-10 minutes even. When I finish mudras, I usually rub my hands, maybe a little clap to clear the energy. That's the end. A little quick final announcement. I'm building you up towards a very powerful chakra meditation I recorded out here at one of my favorite caves that I meditate at the Rocks by an Ocean. So it's a very cool sounding video, and I don't yet know. I'm probably going to sell it because it's really powerful knowledge, but I'm teaching you basically everything. You can do your own chakra meditation with the information that I'm giving you for free. But the guided chakra meditation, I'm not sure, it might be like about 2 weeks at the point in which we finish going over chakra theory. And let's see, anything else? That's it for now. So I appreciate you all watching. I hope this was helpful. Happy Valentine's Day. To my girlfriend Angie, happy Valentine's Day, baby. Ninth Limb, silent flute.